This is Jarvis James. God bless all you all that is in because of the coronavirus hysteria. Man, God is still in control of all of this. Just wanted to come to you with a little Bible study, real quick Bible study. Matthew chapter 14. Real quickly, Matthew chapter 14. This is going to be our scripture reading. I want to look at verse number 21. We'll start with verse number 21. Matthew 14:21. And let's start the reading here. For you all at our TBOC Church and those that watch online, just something real quick to be able to inject you with some encouragement to keep on going. Now those who had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up on a mountain by himself to pray. And now when evening had come, he was alone there. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves, and the wind was contrary. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the water. And when his disciples saw him walking on the water, they was afraid, saying it's a ghost, and they cried out for fear. And so you see the story. Those that are Bible readers and know about this text, and those not Bible readers, it's not making a difference if you read it or have read it or not. What I want to emphasize is that in the midst of the storms, there is just testing going on. In the midst of the crisis, there's a test going on. And it's testing your faith, because a faith that can't be tested is a faith that can't be trusted. How can you say your faith is legitimate and your faith is going to be something with God if it has not been tested? Here in the midst of this, Jesus left his disciples in the middle of a boat, and here now a storm came. This was a test. And so now when he's away, now it's time for you to exercise faith. As long as God is blessing you, and as long as God is prospering you, as long as you got a lot of money, as long as even if you run out of money, you can go get some money from somebody, that's not real test. The real test is when you feel like and you see that God is not there. Ultimately, he is there, but when you feel like he's not there, that's when the test is going on. And now you're in the middle of something, and now the waves and the winds is contrary, and now it's time for you to exercise your faith. So in the middle of everything that's going on, exercise your faith, regardless of the virus, regardless of what's the hysteria and the pressures and the stresses going on. Exercise your faith, because here it is. Immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I. Be not afraid." In the midst of it, don't worry about it. Peter said, "Man, if it's you, Lord, command me to come to you on the water." In the midst of all this going on, God, I still want to come to you. I still want to be with you. Jesus said, "Come." And when he came, Peter came out of the boat. He was walking on the water. And when he saw that the winds was boisterous, when he saw what was going on around him, he took his eyes off Jesus. I want to remind us not to take our eyes off Jesus, because when we take our eyes off Jesus, we start sinking. Watch this with Peter. Peter got in over his head. And when we get in over our head, we start looking at things around us. But watch this. While he was sinking in the sea, Jesus was still walking on the sea and still above what he was sinking in. So even if we get in over our head, remember this, that whatever is over our head is still under God's feet. That's right. Whatever is over your head and over my head is still under God's feet. And God is the only one that can say, "Peace, be still." He's the only one that can pull us out of our situation. But we got to have faith. We got to believe and have hope. And I'm just reminded that every time the world, the society has some kind of hysteria, God is still in control. And it's still, this too shall pass. Watch this. You remember, for you all, some of y'all that's old enough to remember, you remember Y2K, 1999. I remember Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, now he's passed away, but he had a song saying, "We're gonna party like it's 1999. In 1999, everybody was having this big old hysteria. Y2K. Everybody had a Y2K package. Everybody had a Y2K plan. I remember going to church at that time, and churches was stocking up on water, and stocking up on beans, and stocking up on rice. And all these people ain't never ate rice, never eaten beans, never drunk all this water, but they started stacking up. People started stacking cash under their mattresses, stacking cash, because they was afraid that the banking system was gonna go kaput, and they weren't gonna be able to get their money out. And everybody was concerned about the computers everybody's gonna go offline, and the electrical system was gonna collapse and crash because this big grid that was connected and it wasn't ready for the Y2K. And people put a lot of money into preparing for Y2K. And in New York, when they always dropped the big ball, December 1999, New Year's Eve, what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. All this hysteria about something about to happen, the sky about to fall, we're about to come to an end, and we're still here. This too shall pass. I want to give you hope and encouragement in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the crisis. Remember that this too shall pass. Peter had enough sense when he started singing to say, Lord, pull me. And Jesus pulled him out. And when he pulled him out, watch this. The Bible says, immediately Jesus stretched out his hand, caught him, and said, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" They got back into the boat. The wind ceased. Soon as they got back in the boat, the wind ceased, which lets me know that it was a test the whole time. And God permits the test to strengthen our faith. Oh, God is getting the attention. Oh, our president is not getting the attention. Our senators and our governors, they're not getting the attention. Who's getting the attention in this time? In my perspective, from my reflections, is God himself. God of heaven, earth, and everything in between is getting our attention. And he's testing the faith of our believers, testing the faith, people, to be able to, if you're going to trust him through these good times, you got to trust him through bad times, because he's the one in ultimate control. So I just want to give you some encouragement today as you go about your day. Nothing happened at Y2K. Nothing happened. Out of all this storing up of food, all this wipes that you're getting, and all this toilet paper you're getting, and all this bleach you're getting, nothing happened. Same thing here with Corona. We can point to a lot of things we should have quarantined way before Corona. But here it is, we're in the Corona culture, and we're saying that we're still courageous. We're still saying we're going to put faith over fear. Because we're not going to doubt God in the midst of things going wrong. We ain't going to put our focus and our view on what's going on. We're going to put our faith and our focus on God. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.